Welcome everybody back to Minecraft Create. I've got a little fun video today, something quick and easy to show you, all about like tunnel bores and automatic mining. So let's jump right into it. Okay, I've built up three different I'd say variants that you can usually use. You've got your standard small do a bit of mining or just make a normal tunnel, whatever the case may be. Then we've got one where, let's say you want to lay blocks down at the bottom. You want to build yourself a fancy looking tunnel. So, you want to put some blocks down at the bottom and then just add a little bit of curve maybe to the top of the tunnel just to give it a bit more shape. And then we've got a big one for mining and things like that over there, which we'll get to in a second. So if we look at this, I'm gonna rebuild this one. You can just see more or less how it gets built up. But let's quickly have a look here. So we got our standard, you can see build going on, where our mine cart thing goes in here, our furnace, and then we've got a mechanical plow that picks up the rails. We've got the deployers that put down the rails, and we've got your deployers putting down cobblestone. Now obviously when it comes to these, you collect a lot of cobblestone because that's what it's going to mine. It mines the stone, it doesn't keep the stone, it gives you cobblestone. So just as an example, I put this down. So if we quickly have a look here, let's switch this thing on here and then see, make sure that this is active there. Let's put down a lever. Okay, get rid of the lever. So now first we want to switch it on. Okay, now it's switched on. Now it can work. You can see we've got power. And if we activate it, so this is going to mine. As you can see, mine. And then it places those blocks with cobblestone. So if you want a fancy path there. Okay, ran out of cobblestone. Cobblestone's finished, so you can see there. Okay, now usually in a case like this, you would have the storage. You can see here's the storage on here, where you'll pick up all the blocks that you mine. But to start off with, you would add yourself some rails and fill this with cobblestone, just as a start, because in the beginning, obviously, you're not going to have that much cobblestone or whatever stone you want to use, normal stone or quartz, whatever block you want to use, you would put in there. But obviously once it runs out, then this happens. So that's just to show that how this thing works. So this will mine automatically and then put that down. So if I was to put dirt in here, then it would obviously just put down dirt. Now if we go over to this one, this is a proper mining. So if you want to collect materials, a lot of materials in that, you've got a decent size machine here. We've got our deployers putting down, so if there's any gaps or anything, the cobblestone will get put down. We've got our rails over here, and then you can obviously store extra cobblestone and rails in there to make sure that you don't run out. And then at the same time, we've got a deployer with torches at the back here. Now you'll see all these builds, all of them got the same basic design. This part over here, this is the same with obviously your drills there. It's just different sizes depending on how big your drill is. So here we have now this, you'll pull it up with torches, and then this will put down the torches and pick it up as you go along. So it recycles the torches, just that it adds a bit of light around you while you can do it. Now there are different ways of doing this. You can add one on each side there. You can maybe put, if you've got a lot of frog lights or glowstone blocks or things like that, and you want to use that, you could do something, but it makes it more complicated when you get to that point. And a nice little trick is, if you want, because obviously you can pick this thing up. So let's say, let's do this. We're going to add that to lock it. Put that there. I want to take that. And we're going to lift it up. Now it's active. Okay, so now it'll mine. Now you finish mining. Now, how do you empty out these things? Now, you've got thousands of blocks in here. You want to empty it out. Now, usually, you can just pick it up. Now you've got all the blocks you mined in one little place. Now, I want to go empty this out somewhere else. You've got a storage or something. So what you would do is you'll obviously place down your cart assembler like you got here. You can switch that off. Put that down. There's your assembler. And now you need to empty this thing out. Now the best way, obviously after a while, cobblestone you don't need because you've got cobblestone generators. Now you see the generators we've built at other farms. So you can actually stick one of these down and filter out cobblestone on both of them. Now you don't attach this to the contraption. You keep this as is. So what would happen, let's say I'll stick one on over here. We add in that over there. Okay, now that was from the machine, picked it up. Now let's quickly pick this up again. I'll show you here. So if I switch that on, pick that up. See, now that you leave there. So if you come back here to the exact same place and then stick that down, as soon as you place this down and switch the power off, that's going to come down and start dropping out. Then all you do is add a bucket of lava at the bottom of this thing. So you'll filter out. Now you can do a couple of these. Let's say you don't want dirt, or you don't want, what do you call it, obsidian, or whatever this thing picks up. If you don't want it, you can add a couple of filters at the bottom here. So every time you can come back and it automatically filters that out and destroys it. And now let's say there is something you want to keep. You can add a storage onto this. So let's say we put a chute on there and you put some hoppers down, or a belt, you know, a belt that carries things. You can put one on each side. Okay, and so let's say we put a chute or something on here. So you can put two belts down here joining into one big vault, and that can be a separate storage. So it's easy to, empty out these vaults, because there you got vaults, you can't empty that out. But like something like this, where you got a chest you can open up, you can take it out yourself. But when you've got a machine like that, you don't want to empty out 20 or 30 chests with a whole bunch of stuff in it. So you do it that way, then it's easy to empty it out. Okay, so let's quickly build into building this basic one over here. So as I said, most of it is exactly the same. It doesn't change. And obviously you can build these things in different shapes. So let's say that's a 5x5 we got there. So let's do this. We build that there. 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, and 5. And then you're going to have one over there, one like that. You can have that up. Let's build a different shape here, just for the fun of it. Okay, make one there, make one there. I'll do this right now. Okay, and then we got one on top. There we got a different shape. Okay, now first thing we want is our we need a deployer to deploy our cobblestone. Now you would actually need to go like this and go down and then place your deployer. Now you got to remember as well, this you need to face. You see this little thing there? That's your filter. You need that to be one side so that it filters cobblestone from the machine and only places cobblestone. So you can stick a batch in there. So there's already basically half a stack now in there ready to go. And you want your rails to come down, so we need one block. So let's just build this out like that. Okay, you want your rails to be placed just after that. So we're gonna stick the same there. You can see we need that filter facing whichever way makes it easy for you to reach it. So you place a filter and place a filter in there. So now as this machine goes, it will place that down. Any gaps, any holes, anything. Now even if you go across the ocean, it will place a layer of cobblestone down. Okay, so we got that down there. Now we need a place for the minecart, so we skip 2 blocks like so. Let's grab that. Okay, we need this over there. Put a stair down there. That's going to help hold everything in place. And then we're going to skip another 2 blocks so we can put our mechanical plow down over there. Okay, so now we don't need any of these. We're going to need the glue. Don't need that, don't need that. Now, okay, since this is going to be a small machine, put a barrel in there so you can open the barrel from either way. Because remember, you can't put a chest there because then you can't open the chest. So you can put 1 barrel or you can put 2 barrels. Now there you're going to put in your extra cobblestone and put in some rails. So you can put like, usually 1 stack, a stack of rails, it should be enough. It should recycle it every time. But I always like to put in extra in case something runs out, whatever the case may be. Now, okay, now we need to glue this thing together first. So let's see. We need to glue that onto that. Whoops, don't want that. Only this part. See, now you just gotta watch out when you glue it, because if you glue this thing wrong, it's gonna stick to everything. So you're gonna make sure that it's not glued down below or on the side. So we got that glued up, and we want to glue that to there. That we're gonna go all the way through to there. So that glues those drills onto that. Okay, then we're going to glue that down there. We want this to that. Only glue the parts. Don't do that. No, sticking like over the gaps and things like that. Only glue what you've actually built. Okay, now the tricky part is gluing this. So you're going to glue that up there. Glue that to there. That to there. Obviously you need to attach that, overlap it, because it needs to stick, physically join into one machine. And don't forget, now we've got this one over here, so just glue that onto that, and that's everything. But now we need place to store these items. So what you can do, depending on how much you're going to use it, but here we got place to store 3 chests afterwards. So the chest you must do at the very end. And we're going to do that over there. And then we can do the same on this side. And these things get pretty full quickly. So I don't think that this might be enough space. It can get filled up pretty quick. Okay, so there we got our storage. And everything else is there. Except now we need some way to actually move this thing. So we get rid of that. We need a lever, a cart, a furnace, and coal obviously, and rails. So you want to stick down some rails like so. Your assembler, now remember one thing with assembler, you need to place this, it has to obviously be on a rail, but you got to look in which direction. You can see which way that arrow is pointing. See the arrow? That's pointing in that direction. So you're going to make sure when you place this down, it's heading in that way and not the other way. Otherwise the machine will go completely haywire. Okay, and the first thing we're going to put down is power. And before you use this, every single time you want it, before you set this thing off, make sure to check this. You see this movement mode, you click on that and then lock rotation. So that will only go into one direction. Otherwise this thing will start going this way and that way. All of a sudden might turn around and head the other direction. So you've got to be careful with that. Then you can place your cart and then switch it on. Now it's switched on, but you need fuel. So all we've got to do now is click that down like that. And that will go. And it will keep going until you stop it. So let's add some blocks here. We're just going to do this. It's going to mine it up. Okay, so now that's going to keep going all the way. And so if we open up here, it's huge. Start picking up cobblestone. There we go. We got rails with cobblestone, and it's using from that over there. Now you can see that plow is picking up the excess rails on the back and cycling it back into the machine. Now the nice thing is, if you want, you can just take that out and stick that in there back again if you want. Okay, so now it's going. Now you want to stop it. All you need to do is place down your assembler, and that's it. There's your cart. Okay, now you've stopped the machine, but now how do you pick it up and take it with you? Okay, same thing we did earlier. Put that down, put down your cart, make sure that this is still locked into that position, switch it on, take your wrench, and then basically in my case it's a right click and you can pick it up and you've got your machine. Now you can go back to your base and you can empty it out. Do the same thing. You put down the rail, lock the machine, power. Okay, switch that off first. Put that down. And that's it. You got your machine. You can go into your chest. Take out all your goodies you have there. And then put it into your storage or wherever you would like it. Okay. And that's it. Quick and simple. And obviously you can see the size also of this thing. As I said, like this one here, this is a 5x5. I would suggest that's basically the smallest you can go, because you can see you can fit in, what's that, 3, 4, you can fit in 5 rows of chests on each side, and it's big enough, just big enough to put in your deployers and build the right size. And for a tunnel, let's say you want to fly down the tunnel and things like that, then it's the right size to do it. Okay, and there we go. Quick and easy video. Any questions, just leave a comment below. Now, just one thing before I go, there are other ways of building tunnel bores. You can build an automated train but this gets very complicated later on. You can build a train that places down rails for the train and bores the tunnel, or just the train that bores the tunnel, whichever way. But there are different machines and different things you can do. But there's a lot of things on YouTube you can find out with that. But maybe we'll cover that in a later episode. But for the meantime, there we've got 3 basic little drills. Your very entry-level one over there for just a normal plain tunnel. You've got one where you can automatically make your floor, whatever block you want. You've got one of a different shape like we did over there. And obviously a nice standard mining machine at the back behind me here. That obviously filters out everything as well. So that is it. Tunnel bore, automated mining. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Cheers.